When people talk about what built modern Australia, the answer is always the same. Iron ore, coal, gas, the stuff beneath our boots. For more than a century, Australia dug its way into prosperity so effectively that we became known as the lucky country. Lucky because the world needed what we had buried under our feet. But Australia's next $100 billion export? It weighs absolutely nothing. It's not coming from mines. It's coming from classrooms, from code, from research labs and startup servers, from premium brands and quiet vineyards, and from automated systems running mines 1,000 kilometers away. A new gold rush is underway in Australia, and this time, the boom is weightless. For decades, Australia's economic strategy was stunningly simple. Dig stuff up, ship it and repeat. Iron ore, coal and natural gas still account for over half of Australia's export income, one of the most concentrated export profiles of any developed nation. Economists even have a nickname for it, holes and homes. We dig the holes and use the profits to bid up house prices. But now, the foundations of that model are starting to crack. Global demand for fossil fuels is shifting. Major trading partners, China, Japan, South Korea, Europe, are accelerating their move to cleaner energy. Meanwhile, prices swing violently. Lithium alone has crashed, recovered, then crashed again, wiping billions off producer earnings in months. Resource revenue has already peaked. Forecasts now show export earnings from resources and energy sliding down from their record highs. And the biggest issue? Concentration. 3 products: iron ore, coal, and gas. Carry the entire nation. If even one stumbles, Australia feels it. Australia built an educated modern society, but funded it with dirt. To stay prosperous, it now has to export something else. Knowledge, skills, creativity, trust, identity. So where does the next wave of prosperity come from? Not from what Australia pulls out of the ground, but from what it knows. This is the weightless economy. Exports that don't need ships or warehouses or ports, and it's already reshaping the country. Meet Priya, an engineering student from Mumbai. Her tuition? Export revenue. Her rent? Export revenue. Her groceries, transport, laptop, pharmacy visits? Also, export revenue. In 2023 to 2024, international education generated roughly $51 billion, making it Australia's 4th largest export, ahead of gold, beef, tourism, aluminium and wheat. It might be the least understood export in the entire economy, a silent giant hiding in plain sight. But here's the real magic. International education becomes skilled migration. Australia doesn't suffer a brain drain, it experiences a brain gain. Importing engineers, nurses, IT professionals, and scientists the economy urgently needs. This is an export that creates future exporters. 10 years ago, Australia's tech scene was a sideshow. Basically, that place where Canva and Atlassian came from. Today, it's a $167 billion sector, up 80% in just 5 years, growing faster than almost any other part of the economy. And here's what makes it so powerful. Tech removes geography. Australia is far from everywhere, but software is delivered instantly. A safety compliance app built in Melbourne, sold in Singapore, Dubai, Tokyo, with zero shipping cost. Financial software from Sydney, used by banks across Southeast Asia. For the first time in its history, Australia's distance is no longer a disadvantage. Almost no one talks about this, but Australia quietly exports over $100 billion a year in finance, architecture, engineering consulting, legal expertise, environmental management, research, and IP licensing. Australian architects design airports in the Middle East. Australian fintech powers Asian payments. Australian scientists license medical breakthroughs around the world. It's one of the country's major weightless exports, and barely anyone knows it exists. Agriculture is a huge $75 billion export industry. But the fastest growth isn't in wheat or beef, it's in premium identity-based brands. Someone in Tokyo doesn't just want wine. They want a Barossa Shiraz, the flavor of a specific valley made by a specific family with a specific story. Australia is exporting authenticity, craftsmanship, scarcity, value that can't be mass-produced. And here's the twist. Even the most physical industry, mining, is being pulled into the weightless boom. Australia now runs the world's largest autonomous mining fleets, remotely controlled mines, 1,500 kilometers away from Perth. Advanced mineral processing software exported globally, world-leading hard rock lithium production for electric vehicles. Mining companies are becoming technology companies, exporting automation, expertise, and systems, not just ore. Australia isn't just exporting minerals anymore, it's exporting how to mine. And finally, energy. Australia is one of the best places on Earth for renewables. Highest solar potential of any wealthy nation. Massive land availability for wind and solar. Ideal conditions for green hydrogen and ammonia. World-leading critical minerals for batteries. Projections show that by 2040 to 2050, Australia could export more energy through green hydrogen, solar electricity, and clean fuels than it ever did through coal or gas. Australia could become a renewable energy superpower, exporting sunlight and wind. Put it all together and a different Australia comes into view. A country that earns more from students than from gold. A country whose tech future isn't limited by distance. A country exporting knowledge, professionalism, stability, trust, brand, and culture. A country gaining more talent than it loses. A country building the clean energy systems the world desperately needs. For the first time, Australia's prosperity comes from what its people know, not just what it extracts. This isn't just diversification, it's transformation. For 100 years, Australia's luck was buried in red earth. Finite, volatile, unrenewable. But the new lucky country? It's inventing its future. One line of code, one research breakthrough, one premium product, one skilled migrant who decides to stay. This is the gold rush of knowledge, creativity, innovation, and identity. A gold rush that weighs nothing, but could be worth everything. If you want more deep dives like this, stories that explain how Australia is changing, then make sure you subscribe to Media Mates. Hit the like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and drop your thoughts in the comments.